What's happening, everybody? I am Joe Ray, and this is the Wired Down Show. We are in Joe Ray's garage for this upcoming episode. We have a lot of different special guests here. They're all the way down here from San Diego. They are the United Lowrider Coalition. It's about lowriders, the two-wheeled ones, no motors. They got chrome and paint. But before we get too deep into that, special shout out to our proud sponsors, Coker Tires. 520, 13, and 14s. You know how we roll. That's the only way we can. And Powermaster Performance. Alternators, starters. Can't get down that boulevard without their equipment. Other than that, I want to introduce everyone to United Lowrider Coalition. They have a story to tell. You see the bikes, it's about the younger generation and the teachers behind them. It's like all one family. This story is full of inspiration. Check this out. Okay, everybody, here we go. The United Lowrider Coalition. You know, when we're growing up, we're talking about future generations and our lowriding culture. We always remember what our teachers had to say. Well, this is almost like going to class. The responsibilities along your life. One day, you become 18 and you can't wait to be 18 when you're 12 years old. You want to be an adult and you want all those responsibilities. You don't care. Once you become one, then you want to be a kid again because you don't need those responsibilities. But you never forget what certain teachers tell you along the way, not what your parents say. You hear them when you get as old as them, you hear their words loud and clear. But when teachers, and this is like a class, and the teachers will have their time to come up here and explain what the coalition's all about. The students here today, you can never ever forget your involvement here, the responsibilities, the traditions you're taking on. As kids, we all grow up with our bicycles, okay, because we don't have a driver's license yet. And we fix them all up. We may have an uncle or a dad or somebody in our families that has a tie to lowriding, the hobby, the sport. Now it's the big time culture. So you represent from all the car shows, the kids on their bikes, the videos that you see, you represent this whole world of lowriding bicycles. So I would like each and every one of you just to introduce yourselves and the bike that you have here today. And then you're going to tell us a story of mentorship, because when they come up, the coalition comes up and speaks about the mentorship. I want to know about the values and what you got. I know you're all at a young age, but we would all like to know what you got out of building a lowrider bike. You have to tell that story. None of us understand it. We will after this shoot. So here we go. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Mia.
Hi, Joe. Well, my name is Mia Garza, and I just graduated from the 18th chapter. And this is currently not my bike. My bike's at home. But I had a 26-inch cruiser, beach cruiser at home, and I just had a blast building. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Evelyn Pastenes. I'm the United Lowrider Coalition's Youth Vice President. This is my 20-inch Schwinn Stingray Slick Chick.
Mia, if you would like to go ahead and tell us a little bit about your bike and this pink special that we have right here.
Yes. So this was one of the bikes that we had available for the girls to build. So basically we started off. It came stripped with just the frame here. It had the brim on the back fender. We had to start off with building the other side. So we added the bike and the fender, and then which moved to the sissy bar and then the seat, and then we finished off with the handlebars as well. So we did that within the course of the 7 weeks that we were building. And then we added all the if we had accessories, we would add those like handlebars, like how Trinity has hers, or different pedals, or any other accessories that your parents bought for you or were as a gift from the ULC. We would add to the bike. But yeah, this is pretty much it. It's very nice.
Building a bike, you see the beginning of it in the beginning, how it starts off raw, or
Yeah.
it's a project, right?
Yeah.
It has no hope in it at all. And then you know what it's going to look like eventually because you learn all the skills of working on bikes.
Yes.
That's beautiful. All right, Trinity, it's your turn. Describe this bike, this iron twisted machine.
Yeah. So this is my 20-inch bike. I had it ever since I was 10 years old. I started building it as soon as I got it. The name I put for my bike is called Twisted Dreams. You can tell by everything on it, it's twisted. Um, One thing about this bike is the frame. It was an OG bike frame. So where right here, it usually has the Lowrider and then it has the 8 ball, but I switched it out so I was able to get the twisted frame just to add the more effect to it, so it looks more twisted.
How were you influenced into all of this? I mean, obviously, you've been into bikes for a while and you really get what it's all about, the chrome. Now it's all engraving, the paint and the murals, but to go all chrome is old school. I see the steering wheel right there. So tell everybody, what was your first influence, your first lowrider bike that got you into this?
I think it was just the people that are around me, especially with the cars. And I was easily influenced of how the cars look, and especially like kids my age, I've seen how they were building their bikes as well. And so I just wanted to like kind of be a part of that in a way, just to, you know, be out there with them as well and be able to build my bike the way that I want it, because it's kind of like an extension of me. So like this is like all my bike and all in one.
Any family extensions, uncles, dads, anybody into low riding?
Every single one of my family members are all into lowriding.
Oh, you have a great head start
Yeah.
then.
Thank you.
Great. Evelyn, tell us about your silk. What was that again? I keep on thinking.
Slip
Great. Slip chick.
So this is a 20-inch 1969 Schwinn Stingray slick chick. I had gotten it from the original owner. The original owner had kept asking this bike for Christmas throughout the years, and finally during 98, 90, 99, the Santa Claus had came by and had gifted her this Schwinn bike, and we have everything original.
Dude, Santa Claus is cool
Yeah.
because those were the times. Every now and then, every other Christmas, if you're fortunate to get a bike.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Santa Claus go up the chimney? Did he have a black mustache like the lowrider man? I mean, that's a classic bike, 1969. There's not too much I would do to it because it's worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
I know about the slick now. I forgot about that.
Everything here is original. Tigers, everything. There was a basket on it, but we had taken off the speedometer. It works and everything. This bike I've been having for more than 2 years. It wasn't my first bike. My first bike was a 1970 Schwinn Fair Lady, a blue one. But we could have bought it, but we didn't. We wanted to bring this one, and yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 13.
What grade?
Going into 8th grade.
You're very young to be old school.
Yeah.
But I mean, style never goes out of style, does it?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful bike. I wouldn't touch it either.
Yeah.
But you have other dreams of building other bikes on?
Yeah, I'm currently building a 69 Lowrider bike too, original frame Schwinn. I'm gonna repaint it and everything, so that's in the process right now.
The investment that you put in and the responsibility and those who come in and play to help you guys, you can never ever let that go. It stays in with you forever. There's no real turning back.
Yeah.
So you guys see a future beyond the bikes later on, or
Most definitely, yeah.
cars?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, really? Well, now that you understand women are more involved now, they have their own car clubs, bomb clubs and everything. That's perfect. Beautiful. Anything else you guys would like to say about the coalition and what you learned? What is different from the coalition than you going to elementary school, high school? What's different going to the coalition, becoming a group? Well, you guys kind of run that whole group. What is the difference between elementary school and the United Coalition, the Lowrider Coalition?
I think it will have to be teaching the kids actual life lessons and showing them that life is a struggle and that there is barriers that will stop you and you will have to take a break, because in school they don't really show you that. And with the coalition, I have learned that not everything is you have to put your mind to it, and that's what they taught me throughout the years I have been with them.
You're responsible for yourself.
Yeah.
You have to be independent, especially in today's times. And what about you, Trinity?
But the coalition, they don't. Their only worry is, like they just worry about the kids. They go into schools. They went into my school, and they started giving lessons about how lowriders work, what they do, and just the whole history about lowriding. Because kids nowadays, they have like this, not stereotype, but they have like this mindset to think like, oh, like, you're on a lowrider, like you're a gangster, like, you're gonna sell some stuff, like like this, the stuff that you see in the movies. Like, we're trying to show them that that's not us, and that we're trying to help these kids and help like the community that's around them.
That's been my fight all my life.
Mm.
But I think we've come to a point now that lowriding is more respected because it's more family oriented, that we don't have to try and prove a different image anymore. Just be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't understand it or don't want to get it, it's because they want to be haters and they're jealous. And that's okay too. They'll grow out of it one day, but if they don't, that's the life they have to live. You live your life what you like and don't worry about anybody else. We finally reached those times, but never forget where you're at. You too, Mia. What do you have to say about the difference between going to school and being a part of the coalition? What's the difference?
Well, I think the biggest difference would be, I think in high school it's a lot different. I feel like, they consider themselves adults, they're already there in the mindset, they're growing into that. And then them coming in and then being like, hey, you're not fully there yet, but there's still steps that you need to take in order for you to get there. And it teaches them, these different lessons. They come in and they give their stories, and they share their experiences, and it has great impacts on the kids. And we really do listen to them when they speak about their stories and their differences and their challenges of where they had to the steps that they had to take to get there. So it's definitely very impactful for sure on every single kid who's walked in through the bike club and out.
To join the bike club itself, and there's a course you have to take, and you're graded, right? How long is the course? How many weeks?
The
Or
course is only 10 weeks.
10 weeks?
Yeah.
And you go through a process from the beginning all the way to the end. Are there grades? I mean, by the time you complete the bike, they show you, but you have to be hands on.
Yeah,
You have to grab all your tools and everything,
yeah,
right?
during the whole 10 weeks, we go off the kids of what their grades look like. And so, if they're not passing like or anything, we try to encourage them to, try to lift up that grade more, because we're not, and we go off their grades, their attendance, tardies, and everything that's like that.
That's good. It's when you go back to the other class, you reapply yourself. You look at things a lot differently. It's like, I wish I can go back to school now because I learned so much outside of school that I understand it more. And now I want to apply myself differently. Too late. But this is really good for that. What would you say?
I would say pretty much the same thing. Throughout the coalition, they had showed the girls how she said, like to keep their grades up and stuff. And yes, it was on us to give the grades, but if they weren't the ones that wanted to be insistent with the grades and stuff, sadly, you wouldn't have to be here. There was a couple girls that we had to take out only, and throughout the when we had the graduation, yes, the girls had put it in their speeches that they realized their grades were important, and they had brought up their grades more because of the coalition. And if you look at it, a lot of schools don't really, they show that they impact the kids with their grades, but they don't do it as much as how we did as for the bike club.
Are there guys involved too? Students, men, boys, young boys?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Once you accomplish, you get your grade at the end of the day, which is a complete bike build. Where do you guys go from here? I know where you guys went. Now you're repaying what you learned. But what about everybody else who joins those classes in the time of graduation or completion of their bike? Where do they go from there? Do they build another bike? How do they go in life from there? I'm hopeful that they appreciate and they take everything. They don't take it for granted. And they take this for the rest of their life and whatever they may go out there and apply. whether it's low riding, hot rods, or sports or anything, they're always going to remember these values in life. Do you see a lot of the ex-students still come around, hang around?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there's one of the boys, one of the boys from the boys bike club be one of the mentors for the girls.
So, of course, in this studio, this is Joe Ray's garage, lowriders only, like I always say. 3 lowriders here. Interesting stories about them. The United Lowrider Coalition. There's a lot of organizations all around the country that invest their time, charity time. They get involved with the students. I mean, it's always good to get a hug, like I just said. We get them 100 times a week by our parents, but when somebody else takes interest in you, you always listen to that louder. So now you guys have become mentors. Hopefully this show, there's mentorship, what you see out of this whole video. We're going to bring up the women and the men who are involved in this coalition. They're going to tell us the story behind the scenes and about all of these accomplishments with our youth. You're talking about right now about, and I'm about that. It looks like we're in 1972, barbed wire fences, we're in an alley, and hey, I talk like this. It just, we're always going to be degraded, but it's more commercialized now. Cops, school teachers, nurses, they have all lowriders. So we're beyond that now. And you guys are the teachers now like them. You don't have to be a cop. Maybe one day you will be or join the military. But wherever you go, you will be mentors within our lowriding culture. So, anything else you would like to say? I mean, there's a lot of fun here. There's a lot of passion. There's a lot of creativity. This goes on forever for a while, or you guys can't wait to go into whatever your visions are in the future, whether it's college or a job or anything like that on your mind. Where's your future going?
Well, I know fresh out of high school, I'm going to college for sure. That's always been like #1 priority for me and my parents. But I know I'm not gonna leave it behind. I know they'll stick with me wherever I go. But yeah, I think for sure I'll have a future in it. I know I want a car for sure. But yeah,
Which one though? Okay.
I haven't decided yet. I'm like,
There's a few in here you can have a look at.
yeah.
They're good styles to start with. And what about you?
So I'm fresh. I just graduated high school. So after high school, I'm going to college, and I'll be up there. I'll be doing college for a year, doing auto body and auto tech.
There you go.
So I'll be doing that, and I'm already working on my car.
That's good.
I have a 1994 wide body Fleetwood Cadillac.
Oh, wow. And a Cadillac.
Yeah.
What a way to start off.
Yeah.
Going to college. But that sculpturing, we're all artists. You just got to dig in deep to see where that talent is at. But doing body work on a car is hard work. You have to love it. There has to be a passion, but it's sculpturing a masterpiece eventually. What a way to learn, not even going to college or whatever, but just to learn by yourself, trial and error.
Thank you.
Evelyn, what's up with you? Where you headed? I know you're too young yet to know.
I would like to agree with Mia, going to college afterwards, building a life, and yeah.
Good. Good for you guys. All right. So we'll go behind the scenes and see who your mentors are and see what they've got to say about the ULC. All right, everybody, we're in Joe Ray's garage. Once again, lowriders only. We have a whole lot more to tell you. Hey, everyone. Before we get back to our episode, we want to give a shout out to one of our proud sponsors, Powermaster Performance. One of the most important parts under the hood of your lowrider is the alternator. The key to selecting an alternator is to make sure its output meets and exceeds the electrical needs on your ride, especially at idle. For instance, if you have an electric fan, electric fuel pump, big amps, airbag compressors, you're already looking at over 100 amps. And that's not counting the ignition, exterior lighting, or air conditioning. The other important part is to understand that the alternator must be capable of supporting those electronics at lower RPMs while idling or cruising in traffic. Plus, it's available in chrome, polished, black, and natural housing for single V-belt and serpentine belt systems. For more information about Powermaster's HPR series, just go to powermasterperformance.com. Hey guys, just so you know, this is one badass tire Coker Tire has been working for years to build a perfect 520 tire, and the evolution of this tire was led entirely by the end consumer, which is us. Suggestions from customers led to many changes throughout the years, and the most recent improvements include all new tooling and molds, meaning that the ultimate lowrider tire just got better. Crisp sidewall lettering and perfect white wall size and location are the cosmetic features, and you can expect excellent performance out of this tire due to its 8-ply rating. The most significant feature of the new premium sport tire is the tread profile and defined shoulder, giving it the perfect look. This reimagined tire has the same great features you know and love, but with all new materials to ensure customer satisfaction. It has been years in the making, but believe us, it's worth a wait. You can order the new Premium Sport 52013 and 52014 now at cokertire.com. All right, everybody, class is in session. The United Lowrider Coalition out of San Diego, California. Everything that goes on here behind these scenes, they are here to give us all an education out there. And this goes for everybody out there who's ever thought about coming up with a program to inspire our youth and get them more involved so that they can honestly become responsible about something, truly have a passion for it, so that they one day will respect it just as well. And that way our history and traditions just continue on. So how does that work? Who would like to speak first for the coalition? Actually, we should just go down the line and introduce everybody. You first.
I'm Jovita Ariano, and I am the president of the United Lowrider Coalition.
I'm Deanna Garcia, and I am the vice president of the United Lowrider Coalition.
My name is Rabbit Impala Scar Club. I'm the sergeant of arms of the United Lowrider Coalition.
I'm Tere Garza, and I'm the secretary of the United Lowrider Coalition.
And my name is Evelyn, but they also call me Lulu, and I'm a board member from the United Lowrider Coalition.
Okay, so when did the coalition start? Who
So-
wants to start off with that?
It started on January 9th, 2021
Mhm.
in National City at Kimball Park. So we all came together because we were working on, our first goal was to repeal the no cruising ordinance in National City, where you couldn't cruise down Highland Avenue, had been over 30 years. So that was our goal when we first met. That's how we came up with our name, because we were United Coalition, the lowriders. And our coalition consists of several members of different car clubs, so it wasn't just one car club. It was a bunch of people who really had that passion and wanted to see that no cruising ordinance repealed. Once we finished that, that took us almost 2 years. And then we took the lead on AB 436, and we met with David Alvarez, Assembly Member David Alvarez, and we met with him and told him, you know what, we were having problems getting our ordinance in National City repealed, but a lot of other cities throughout the state of California were having the same problems. So what can we do together so we can get this, everybody's ordinances repealed so that everybody can cruise and it wouldn't be against the law, which was never against the law to cruise anyway. But David Alvarez said yes, right away, yes, I'll do it. And he named that AB 436, cruising is not a crime. And so 8 months later, that got signed by the governor. And so once we finished that, then we said, you know what do we do now? We accomplished two major things for the lowrider communities. And we said, we're going to focus on our youth. And that's when our bike club started.
You would think that maybe focusing on the youth and our younger generation and teaching them different qualities besides just the arts and crafts, right? Experiencing the learning skills, all of that. You think that once you did that, then you would get their attention, because that would be the proper resume so we can put ourselves out there. Because when you say the word lowrider, sometimes, everybody takes a step back and says, closing the boulevard, opening it up again. But I mean, if you didn't have to do that, that's a great thing. It's fine that our politicians are recognizing this. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think the stereotypical situations are kind of like out there anymore. There are haters, but they're jealous people. So we're all born like that, a little bit jealous. We're a little bit greedy. We all have egos. Some express it a little bit more, but we must move on for important ventures like what you do. Explain the whole entire program and how it all began.
So it's a 10-week program that we have for the kids. And the curriculum is based off the frame of the bike. So the frame of the bike, you have the frame, that's our frame of our foundation. That's their frame, their body. Without the steering wheels, you have no direction.
Okay.
Without the chain, you have no connection. So it's that, and the curriculum was put together for them. So they have lesson plans during every week. We meet with them 2 hours. They have lesson plans, they have homework, and they have journals, and they're supposed to write in their journals of how that day impacted their lives. And then the second hour of the class is when our mentors help them build their bikes. And then after that, after 10 weeks, they have a bike, but plus they have a whole new identity, and they know the culture. They know that they can build a bike themselves with their own hands. And then it really improves their confidence in themselves. They're proud of themselves, and it shows them that they do have leadership skills.
The faces on them when they come in. I mean, we're not all perfect. Some of us have bad grades. I did in the beginning until I understood how hard my dad had to work, because somebody was special to a Catholic high school or a Catholic elementary school. So I finally kicked into gear and just took my education a lot more serious, brought home good grades and everything. But you get kids from all walks of life, and you're like the second parents, and you get to teach them, like what you said, all the directions of everything from the handlebars, the chain, and when they're going. That goes a long, long ways. So what do you think about the whole coalition, how the students, how they walk in, what type of students they are, who they become during the build, and after the build, what they are now?
We get kids from grade levels that are different. We get some kids have a couple A's and the rest of them are low. Some kids have come in with straight F's and 90 days tardy, and absences. And when we bring them in here, we actually help them give them that confidence. Our main focus is on their grades, is on their attendance, is on their hard work. So if they're not doing that, we will pull them aside and we will give them that extra attention, and we will give them that extra confidence that they need. A lot of these kids, when they come, they're in a shell. They don't like to speak, they don't like to talk. And a lot of the girls that even go to the same school as them, they've never had conversations with. They've never had relationships with. They've seen them in the hallways passing by, and they've never had conversation at all, have said hello or anything. By the time they're done, these girls have lifted up their grades, sometimes 2 to 3 grades up. Their attendance has gone way down. They haven't been absent that whole time that they've had the 10-week. And even after our program, we have seen that their grades continue to rise up, and their attendance still lowers down. I mean, these girls now, after these 10 weeks, have become like this. They're sisters. So after these 10 weeks, they have become a family. So that 10 weeks doesn't end their bike club. It's the beginning of a whole new family, a whole new unity that they have developed, and that they know that they can trust and put their confidence in. So when they see that trust that we give them, and then that they give us, I mean, their voices, their voices come, and their volume is so high. And that's what's impressive, that they can actually give us their example of what we've done for them to their families when they have their graduations and they do their speeches. They express themselves on all the changes that they've had, and that's what really impacts us and what makes us want to do this even more, because we see the young violence in the streets. And this is one of the main reasons why we wanted to do this, because we want to focus on our youth and bring them up. And the only way we can actually do that is actually hands-on. We got to get hands-on, and not just us, but these kids. If we were to just sit here and tell them, no, don't do this, no, don't do that, what kid listens to that? No. We got to actually give them something that they can be interested in, that they can focus on and tune in on. So that's what we came with. We came up with the Lowrider bikes, building it. A lot of kids don't even know the Lowrider culture. And us focusing on the youth, gives us the ability to show them what lowrider culture is actually about. It gives us the ability to preserve, our lifestyle, our culture, and how uh, we see them, bring it up respectfully. So that was our focus when we first started all of this.
So it's a 10-week course. How many students are involved per class? And how many do you have per year?
We have 10. We like to focus on 10 for right now because we're trying to focus small first. And then we are going to eventually start, getting more kids as we grow. We want to put more kids up into this. But right now we have focused on 10. I mean, the bike club, it's it all of it's been 10, but sometimes some kids have failed out, and we've graduated 9, but
Do they return? Some of the kids return again? I know how to build a bike now. Give me another chance.
yes, we
I'll
have
get a
kids.
better grade or a better bike.
We have kids that we've invited to return. We have some that are waiting to actually return to our next bike club, but some kids make a mistake. Some kids, they want to get out so that they can focus more on trying to be better in the bike club for the next session. So that way we can, give them what they need and they can get what they need on the side before they come into the bike club as well. So we still try to focus on those kids, even though they're not a part of the bike club.
And
What's great about that is, in today's times of low riding, I mean, this gets really serious too. But the cars, the builds, and the cost of everything, it's almost like they're trying to just out money us so we can't build lowriders anymore. We all know it takes years and years to take the next step, graduation. Obviously, all of you are involved with cars and builds and Rivieras and things like that. Your husband's in a car club, same thing. How do you guys find the time to devote into something as good as this? Where do you get the time at?
I'll chime in on that because we have that discussion a lot with a lot of people, and it is like, what is it about lowriding? We unless you live it, unless you know about it, unless you eat it and just talk about it, then you'll understand the passion that we have. And I call it a passion because of the fact that I know people say it's a sport, it's a hobby, but for us, and my wife and I, it's a passion. Our family knows that lowriding is 100% a passion, but we instill that in the kids when they come to our classes. And I know we've been talking about the girls, which is fine, but I believe the class we just finished was the 6th or the 7th when we done, but we had focused a lot on just the young men. And luckily, Derek had an idea, said, hey, let's do an all women's bike club. So we did that. But a lot of the young men that went into our program, that started our program, were didn't know nothing about lowrider bikes, didn't know nothing about cars, about hydraulics, about anything. So once they were there, we started explaining to them, talking to them, and telling them, look, this is what we love. This is what our passion. This is our culture. Learn it, respect it, but live it. And we're teaching them little by little by little what they put their hands on. But as you were saying earlier, the paints, the chromes, and everything. Right now, a lot of us are being threatened in a sense with the RC cars because those RC cars, my goodness, you're looking at $3,000-$4,000 of some of these RC cars, and you're like, where is the limit now? Some of these RC cars are looking better than the lowriders out in the streets, which are really cool and stuff. But I just want to chime in on that we have a passion and we're teaching the younger generation as best as we can with full respect. One thing I love about this program, when we first meet the kids, nobody knows each other. We don't know them. They don't know us. We start talking to them. And the first thing we do is make sure they know how to, shake a hand. It is not a weak handshake, a nice firm handshake. Same thing with the girls. And they speak properly. They say, hello, how are you? Goodbye, we're leaving. Because that's all part of our culture and part of respect. But I don't know if you want to.
Manners are very important.
yeah, manners are very
Ask you a question. The boys and the girls in the class. Of course, just like lowriders, this is a man's thing, right? But we're going through some changes now. But I'll always remember my sister either had a basket down here, or the top of the pipe right here, the design of the bike was looped. So I knew it was a girl's bike. A real bike is a boy's bike, right? Back then. So when you get into this, especially lowrider bikes now, and there's competition in the shows and all, how do the girls adapt to the way the boys already think? Because they already have the baddest bike. They know what to build. They know how, and girls don't know anything. But there is like girl power in there, right? There's a competition, a friendly competition between the boys and the girls. What difference is there in there?
I think, to be honest with you, like Rabbit said, I came up with the idea to do one with all girls because I've had some bad experience in the past trying to join clubs, and it's a man's world, and girls have a hard time getting into car clubs. Uh, and this time around with the girls, I think they really had it in them because of the support they had from the teacher and the dean from the school. And I think that's really important too, to mention that, once we get out there to more schools, that the teachers come to us as well and tell us, oh this is amazing because, this child didn't have good grades. Now look at her grades or his grades. So, it's important that the teachers, see that because it helps us grow within the kids, getting the kids into the program. And as far as the girls shining and being better than the boys, it's just a friendly competition, like you said. But I told them in graduation just the other day, just always remember one song from James Brown. This is a man's world, but it is nothing without a woman or a girl. Keep that in your mind and keep your head up high and build your bike, build your lowrider car. Be successful in life because women can do it as well.
So they pick the right colors, right, for bills.
Let me chime in on that real quick. So, because of all the boys we were having, of course, we as men think boys can grab a grip and they can grab a nut and a screw and a screwdriver and this and that. But when the girls came in, I asked the question, okay, which girls know here about tools? And out of 10 girls, 8 of them lifted up their hands. And I was like, how do you guys know more about tools than the boys? I was like really surprised. But I was very concerned. I had told my wife, I go, babe, there might be an issue because their hair or their nails and stuff doing work on them. And, luckily we're blessed because the mentors we have, Mike and Fresco and Henry and some of the guys that are there, Raul and stuff. And I keep repeating this, and I said it in graduation. I'm so proud of the girls because not one of them broke a nail, So that was awesome with that.
And we all know all the kids, especially they start at a younger age today. They're more rebellious than we ever were. We have to go back and remember when we were kids and what we did. Like my Nina would tell me, "Oh God, they ditched. I'm gonna get them for that. I'm gonna do this and that." And then they go, "Oh, you don't remember when you had little pocket protectors and you ditched one day? Even if you were a little dork." My Nina would tell me that. So we got to go back into our youth and remember when we had our bikes and what we did. But the kids today are more daring, they're more rebellious, and they're going nowhere. They're proving absolutely nothing. You could be rebellious after you get an education and apply yourself right and learn all the ingredients that it takes to apply yourself, for either it's math, whatever, science, history, but it all begins here with arts and crafts. This is better than a Crayola book. It's hanging something in third grade classroom wall. This is the best experience you can ever offer. You guys do devote a lot of time. Are there anybody out there, any companies out there that donate handlebars, accessories, bikes?
Yeah, I think it was 619 Bikes. Was it the store or the
So we got
Galindo?
Galindos.
Galindos.
Galindos and Escondido we've been working with them for a while now that, we buy 2 or 3 mirrors and he'll donate one. They donated a lowrider bike to us when we went on one of the classes, one of the builds, and we're very blessed that he has come, the father and the son have come in and donated stuff. But we're always, we're a nonprofit organization, but I'll let my wife talk about that because I'll go on and mess things up.
Yes, so we are a 501c3 nonprofit. We began that, it's been 3 years that we've are a nonprofit. And with that, we're able to get donations. It's like some of our strongest supporters and sponsors are local. So we have Eddie and Joey from the
Party Time Market.
Party Time Market, a national city right across the street from Sweetwater High. Those two gentlemen have hearts of gold, and they will help us with anything. They sponsored two of our kids to go to Kansas in April for the bike conference that we had out there with Eric Arazo. So it's the local. Then after graduation on this past Monday, one of the parents, they own a restaurant, and she came up to me and told me, you know what, I'm going to give $1,000. So it's more locally. We soon will we become a foundation so that we can get more grants and build more capacity within the structure. But we have, it costs us $700 per child, or 800, almost close to $800, $700 to $800, because it's the bike, it's their T-shirts, it's their journals, it's their incentives that we buy for the bikes, food. Kids need food and drinks, so all of that, and the paperwork and the printing, and so all of that is about $800. So we do a lot of fundraising just to get our next funds for the next 10-week program. It cost a lot, but we don't have a lot. Sometimes our bank account will be very low, but we somehow get it the next for the next group. We have Dede, which is really good. She did a car show, and all the proceeds went to the bike clubs. We went to the what was it? Not the suicide.
Swami.
We do the swap meet, and those proceeds go to the club. But the one that we went to, the cold case, a cold case
Cold Case Cruise.
cruise, we get some of those funds to go to the bike club. So people find out about what we do, and they're like, how can we help? So we're hoping to grow more and more, and we are growing more. In the fall, we'll be at a couple of more schools: Southwestern College in National City campus, and then Gompers Charter School. That we're going to be opening up another program, 10-week program at those two schools, and then go back to High Tech High in Chula Vista. So
Beautiful. Devoting all your time, where you get it from, I don't know, but it's a good feeling. It's like going to church. You all go home after a class, or you've seen the kids graduate besides your own kids. It has to give you a good feeling that you can take someone else you just barely knew for 10 weeks, sponsored them, helped them, educated them, entertained them, and got them through this experience as a teacher. And that man up there is watching. We all have purposes in life, but it must be a good feeling to go home and see what everybody's doing and what the expressions are on everybody's face and their builds. What is that like for you?
For me in general, it's an awesome feeling because, as you can see, my daughter Evelyn was up here talking earlier about her bike. Not only do these kids get to experience the mentors that they have, but so does my daughter. She gets these role models that she gets to look up to at the end of the day. Coming out to help out the community, those kids get the exact same role models that she gets, and these people have life experiences that everybody has gone through. Like everybody goes through something, and they can rely on all of us as mentors to stand up and back them up, because we know that not every family gets that. Not every family has the parents present. Not every family has siblings. So for us, I mean, that's what we look forward to, that community service back out to the community.
Your daughter, I mean, for her age, I mean, she spoke very well. So she has a good upbringing, but that's what we're doing with all the students who are involved. And that's why we're doing this video. The same reason, to give everybody that we can come up with groups and coalitions like this, and everybody can get together And it's not so much for respect. It's that man up there put us down here for a purpose only. And yes, the kids are in every direction you can't even think about because of the way they don't even watch television no more. If they're not on games, they're on their phones, and then there's social media, and they're ruined. We used to be spoiled. Now they're ruined, and you need to get their attention. And the only way is to give them the skills, all the tools, everything it does to take. You're teaching all of that. But she was very well spoken, and she's guided very well. But I'm sure, every now and then you check eBay to make sure that bike's not on there.
So yeah, my husband is very big on about keeping it original because we like hearing stories, just like what you said as soon as you seen it. When I was little, I used to have a bike just like this, and that's how we like it. We like to keep it that way, original, classic, show all of its bumps and bruises, everything that it's gone through, because it brings those memories back. And it's not just, our peers. You're looking at older gentlemen, little older women, just like she said. This bike was originally purchased from a 70-something-year-old woman, and for her, she knew what she had because she straight up told my husband, like, I know what I have. I know that if I were to sell it, it's going to get pieced out because some of these parts are expensive because they're original. But I don't want that to happen to this bike. She said, I want the originality to stay, but more importantly, she goes, I want a little young lady or a little girl or somebody to preserve it, but ride it, or use it. And sure enough, when we go to the auto swap meets or whenever we're out in town, my son also rides a little smaller one, a little 12-inch one. And yeah, they get stopped left and right, left and right. So thankful for my husband for picking up, learning and educating himself more, learning more about the bikes and just bringing them into it because they get to learn that as well, and they get to pass that on and educate others on how they began, where they are, to what they can be, moving forward onto whatever creativity the kids have next. So, but yeah, the coalition is awesome. It's a good opportunity for kids to be involved. People, we're always looking for people to come and join us and hear what we're all about, community, family, kids. And at the same time, it's very humbling because you get to see the community out there that are not as blessed as we are. We've gone to help families that cannot have a roof over their head, but we've been able to provide and help with whatever we can within each other to show, do that. But the more important part over that is teaching the youngsters that stuff like that can happen, like there's people out there that, are willing to help you out if you need the help, that they're not by themselves.
And just earlier when we started this whole thing, I brought up my dad. He worked on a truck in front of lawyers and doctors, and all the kids had the baddest bikes in the neighborhood. And as soon as my dad saw any of those bikes, we went to the bike shop and we bought a better one for us. But he worked very hard. But then I got to remember, it's selfish of me to even say anything like that. We have to always think about the kids out there that never had a bike in their lives, let alone get parts donated and build one. That is everything. All right, everybody. The Wire Down Show, Joe Ray's Garage. I've said it before, Lowriders only. Beautiful story. Hey, we all start off somewhere, whether it's pedal cars, model cars, RC cars now, lowrider bicycles, then the real cars once we get our license and the right jobs. But before all of that, the right education. We all look to be inspired somewhere. Those are our weakest points. Thank God we all have mentors like these people standing behind me. Beautiful bikes, a beautiful organization, the United Lowrider Coalition. So, how do we enroll into a class? If anybody would like to donate anything for this good cause, how do we reach out to you?
So you can reach out to us by our website, which is unitedlowrider.com. Or you can even give us a call. Deanna will give her phone number too. You can call me, Jovita, at 619-227-4588. And text or something. And then we have our Facebook page, which is United Lowrider Supporters on Facebook.
We also have the Instagram, which is official ULC 619, and we have our email, which is unitedlowridercoalition@gmail.com.
Okay, everybody. Trinity, Evelyn, and Mia, the experience you had going through class and now becoming mentors, this wasn't too bad, right? You got a chance in your life, whoever you become, and you will be important by these experiences. You can talk in front of crowds now, and you guys all did good. I'm very proud of you. As a lowrider, I mean, we're all in this together at the end. It's like one family. We all have the last name and lowriders involved in it. One big family, one big car club, one big bike club, one big organization. We're all responsible, no matter what color, for each other. We're all students, and then sometimes we become teachers. So what a better way not. Stereotypes don't exist because of people like you.
That's right.
We're all adults here. So there is the Wire Down Show. Another great episode. We were in the garage, like I said before. I want to thank all of you. I'm proud of all of you. I'm sure everybody else here. This was a great cause. You know, it's not always about custom paint and there's hydraulics, there's car clubs and there's presidents and there's this and there's that. It's about this. Let's take 2 steps back and never forget who we really are. That's what makes our industry, our culture different from everybody's. They proved it. Thank you for being with us.